Chapter 3 of John Smith's Funny Adventures on a Crutch, or The Remarkable Peregrinations of a One-Legged Soldier After the War. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Read by Christine Rutger. John Smith's Funny Adventures on a Crutch, or The Remarkable Peregrinations of a One-Legged Soldier After the War, by A.F. Hill. Chapter 3 proposes to leap from a third-story window. For some days the recovery of Mr. Thomas was very doubtful. Someone had to stay with him continually, and especially at night, for at that dreary hour when churchyards yawn, and one experiences an inclination to sup on hot blood, vide Hamlet, he was in the habit of raving a good deal and of threatening to destroy himself and the greater portion of the human race. By and by, sitting up with him got to be a rather sleepy task, and as there were not very many whole men about, it was necessary for the cripples to take turns at it. One night, a week or so after the attempted suicide, my turn came. I was told early in the evening that I was detailed to get up at 12 o'clock and stay with the sufferer till 3. At the appointed time, I was awakened by one of the nurses, arose, dressed, and proceeded to the invalid's apartments. I entered the room with some misgivings, and relieved a one-armed hero who had been watching since 9 o'clock. The latter retired at once, and left me alone with the patient. The latter was asleep at that time, and the single candle that was burning in the room shed a ghastly light over his ashen face and the white bandage, slightly blood-stained, that was bound around his unhappy neck. "He's asleep now," the one-armed soldier had said before withdrawing, "and may not give you any trouble. If he should awake and try to hurt you, ring the bell." The bell wires, etc., used when the building was a hotel, were still in good working order, and all that lent me courage was the bell pull that hung down close to my ear when I had taken a seat on a chair near the door. I was just getting into an uncomfortable doze when the patient waked up, awoke me, and raising up quietly in bed remarked, "I believe I'll jump out of this window." He said as coolly as a man in good health would say, "I believe I'll take a walk." It was a third-story room, and the bed stood immediately by the window. I thought of the disastrous consequences of such a proceeding on the part of Thomas, and earnestly advised him not to think seriously of embarking in such a colossal enterprise. The window was raised about 2 feet, it being a warm night, and he gazed wistfully out into the sombre darkness. "Don't do it, Thomas," said I with earnestness. "We are at least 30 feet from the ground, and in your present condition it would not be judicious. Wait till you get well at least." "You jump out," he suggested, turning and looking upon me with a wild stare. He seemed to have just thought of it. What could be my excuse for not taking a flying leap in the dark, I being in sound health, what there was of me? I glanced furtively at the bell-pull and replied, "Oh no, not from that window. You see, that is a back window. The laundress has some clothes hung out to dry just below, and it might injure them. Besides, I am in the habit of doing my leaping from a 4th-story front window. You'll always find, Thomas, that a man of refinement prefers a leap from a window of the 4th floor." He sat a while in a sort of thoughtful attitude while I kept one eye on the bell cord and the other on him. Then, to my relief, he deliberately lay down again, drew the covers close up to his chin, and glided off into a gentle slumber. I had no more trouble with him. Thomas got well in the course of a month, left off drinking, and got to be a pretty sensible sort of fellow. The last time I saw him was the day, some months after I had left the hospital, when I returned to the old place on a brief visit. He was engaged in a 4-hand game of euchre, and I observed, just as I arrived, that he held in his hand both Bowers, ace, king, and queen. Would you believe it? He had the temerity to play it alone, and the extraordinarily good luck to make 4 times. End of chapter 3.